Let's go ahead and get started here. My name is Matthew Abbott. I'm the Chief Product Officer here at Earth Solutions, and I get the privilege of walking everyone today through our webinar. And our webinar today is about streamlining land management through Docusign, Parcel, and Rextag integrations. This is one of my favorite things to do because I get to show you the changes that we've made and how they can impact you. So it's always an important thing whenever I can do webinars with our customers and our prospects here as well. Just kind of a few housekeeping notes here. We will have a question and answer at the very end of this, a Q&A time at the very end of this. Feel free to add in any comments or questions you would like. There's kind of a Q&A section on the Zoom link, so feel free to add in those questions. Those will all be addressed at the very end. And then, of course, at the very end, I will show you my contact information. So if you have any further questions, you can always reach out to me as well here. So with that said, let's go ahead and jump in and we will get started here. So very first here, Earth Solutions has a product that we call an offering that we call EarthLand Management. And EarthLand Management is the leading industry SaaS platform. And when you think about what it does here, there's multiple kind of things it does. And you'll see the three on the screen that we really kind of our three key focus areas is what I'll call them here. First, performing land rights, the payment calculations, the processing of stakeholder engagement, compliance activities, right? That's one of the core things that our application does. We also are one system of record. So with that, you can keep your information up to date. You can capture notes and photos. You can manage the obligations. You can collaborate across teams and track workflows. And it's all through the central repository that we call EarthLand. Along with that, it helps improve the accuracy and efficiency as well, right? And the way it does it is by simplifying and allowing you to manage complex, time-consuming processes. And those processes are things like route planning, site selection, project monitoring, the cost analysis, and of course, the environmental assessment. So all of these things roll together in what we call the EarthLand Management offering here. And then, of course, that is a major component to what we do with the right-of-way market itself. So today, we're going to be talking about really three changes that we've made on our EarthLand Management offering here. And I'll kind of start off with what we call the EarthLand or the Irth Rextag integration. And when you think about the Irth Rextag integration, and you'll hear me say this a few times, whenever we do webinars, this is one of our key things that we always lead with. We talk to our customers all the time, right? And one of the things that we really try to work with our customers on is focusing on current problems that they have, current issues they have, and then we determine how we can help solve those issues here. So one of the biggest problems we heard was right here in front of the screen, which is, of course, when you're planning a project, the more data you have, the different types of data you have at your fingertips, the easier it is to use. So if you think about, putting a project location on an actual map on a GIS screen, you can't see today, where all of the different assets are for the different customers or different companies or even competitors out there. So, when you can't see that, you don't have an up-to-date understanding of where you are crossing other assets either. So what we have done here from a solution standpoint is we've worked with Rextag and we've integrated the Rextag data to show other customers, other competitors' facility information in a single view, right? And this is a live layer on the map that is kept up to date. And we'll talk about the frequency of that. But you can imagine as you're drawing that project location, seeing where those other assets facilities are, you may make decisions quicker and faster about where, routing around a different location and so on. Now, what does this look like in real life here in terms of like a real solution here? This is Rextag, and this is what the Rextag data looks like here. So they've got data for electric, renewables, gas, and other facility locations as well around the United States and Canada. And so this is Rextag's solution as it sits by itself. And some people may use this on the call today. You may use Rextag with EarthLand. What we have done now is we've integrated all this data you see here into our EarthLand Management product, which is now on the screen here. So now what you can do is when you draw on the actual map or the maps on the different areas inside of EarthLand, you draw that proposed project location. Now you can flip on a layer, and that layer displays all the other types of facility locations around that proposed location. So now you can actually see that, and that's where you can make a quick adjustment to say, instead of going directly to do north and south, let's kind of go east and west through this location and miss a corridor that we were going to hit here prior. Now, along with that, what you can also see is you can actually click on the layer itself, and we're giving the attribute data directly to the users as well. That attribute data is important because now you know the owner of that facility. So you can see things like who is the operator, who is the owner, what's the type of facility it is, what's the status of that facility. all that information is right at your fingertips. So if you do have to make some calls, now you have that information right there where you know exactly who you need to call. And again, what facilities would be crossing your projected project location here. Okay. So again, pulling in all of that Rextag data, the other facility location data into a single solution now to make it easier for planning projects. Now, enhancement number 2 kind of goes along with that, right? It's about data and bringing data into your fingertips, you know, during that project process here. So that's what this is what we're calling the EarthLand parcel integration. And again, you know, starting with the problem that we heard from our customers. Of course, when you're actually drawing a proposed location, you're going to go through many different properties, different properties, and you have to reach out to those owners. You have to know who those owners are. You have to be able to reach out to those owners and have the right contact information for those owners. So the problem today is that there was no integration prior of that parcel data inside of the EarthLand application to give you that data in a single place. Well, what we have done now is we have solved that data, and we've solved that data by partnering with US Land Grid. US Land Grid's a provider of parcel information. Some of you may use that. If you use it, that's great because we can bring that parcel data in as well into our actual product. But we're doing this in 2 phases, and right now we're in phase 1. So with phase 1, what we've done is we've given the users the ability to add the parcel data as a service, where you can review and download the parcel shapes and information into the project into the EarthLand GIS viewer. So you can see that information in the EarthLand GIS viewer, you know, by adding it as a service. In phase 2, we're going to take that same concept, but we're going to sync the parcel geometry on a scheduled basis, probably a quarterly basis, what we're thinking today here. You know, of course, we can customize that process if need be. Now, again, why is this important here? Well, when you think about it in practice here, inside of our applications now, you know, we show these parcel layers inside of our applications. So you can see them anywhere in GIS. If you click on that actual parcel, now you get the actual information about who is the property owner at that location. Well, that is vastly important then when you know, knowing like what is the parcel, not just what it is, but also like, you know, who the actual owners are. Now, when you put that into practice here and you actually have a proposed project location like we see here on this screen. So I've got my proposed project location, and now I've got all the parcels that I can see, you know, along the way. This now makes it easier for you, again, to get that attribute data, see if you're going through public schools or something like that, but knowing who the actual property owners are. And now you can make quick adjustments up front on the proposed location of that particular project, right? So the very first things that we're working on here are getting that data in, pulling that data in, you know, while you're working with, you know, while you're doing the design component of the different projects here. You know, that data is now going to show you again with the Rextag data, all the different facility locations, you know, of others out in the market here, shows you all the parcel data. That data is used then to make decisions about where your location of your proposed location is on the project you're looking at here. So that's about showing that data, bringing that data into the actual product itself here, right? Now, along with that here, we've made a third significant change here, and the third significant change is more kind of on the back end, on actually the signing of documents, right? So again, in working with our customer base here, you know, obviously right-of-way professionals, you always need to have, there's a lot of documents that need to be signed. And right now there was no way to do that electronically in a single integrated package with EarthLand. And we have now solved that problem, right? So when you think about, well, what is the solution? The solution is that we've integrated that EarthLand management into Docusign directly now, right? And so what does that actually look like in practice? We've made it very simple, right? So from an implementation standpoint, we need to understand the different types of documents you have. Once we understand the different types of documents, we can configure those documents in our EarthLand product here, you know, and have them ready for submittal, right? Submittal to, you know, for the different reviews and different signatures that you need. So on this screen, what you'll see in the middle of the screen here, you'll see some documents under a workflow description, documents that are ready to go out and ready to be sent out here. Now, what we can do is when you're ready to send them out here, we now have a new field on the documents that says DocuSign yes or no. Of course, if you say no, the document will not be sent out via DocuSign. If you say yes, it will be sent out via DocuSign. I'll show that to you here in a second. So all it is a real simple little prompt, you know, on this this screen right here for the project screen itself here, in order to send the document electronically now. Now, along with that, you know, we're generating the documents, and the documents can be fully customized based upon what your needs are here. So again, we'll work with you up front to figure out what are all the documents you need, configure them, get them into the system here. The good thing is when they're in the system, now you can see exactly where they are in terms of all the steps, the approval status, the comments on those, what is the actual document. You see all that information in a single spot, as well as a link to the actual document. Now, when you say yes to the document being sent out here, on the back end of this, it's a really simple process, right? And we're all familiar with this process because we've all signed electronic documents. So an email gets submitted to the actual to the signer here, and that email, it looks just like this here. It's just an email that we're all familiar with again, right? That person then clicks on review document. The document opens up. They can do it on their phone or their laptop or their tablet, or their computer, right? They just review and sign the document. Once they're done signing the document, now there's a seamless integration back into our actual product here. So here's where the seamless integration takes place. So now you have documents being sent out, the documents being signed electronically, that electronic document coming back into EarthLand, and the date signed is captured along with the actual document itself. So a seamless process back into the EarthLand management solution here. So when you think about the value and the return on investment, I mean, it has a big value for our customer base here. So the first two are all about time savings and reduced correction during projects. So you can imagine our goal with the Rextag integration and our goal with the Parcel integration is pulling that detail and that data in and pulling it into a point where you actually can make on the fly changes because you've got the information at your fingertips in a single system. So that's an important thing in terms of being able to reduce the amount of corrections you need. You're not having to look at 3 different systems to try to make a decision. Now you're looking at a single system with the data all integrated into one spot here. So very important when it comes to reducing the corrections in the process there. On the flip side of it here, with the decreased time in the document signature, that is a very important thing as well, because when you're integrating with a document repository here, that document repository, if those electronic signatures go out, you've got hundreds and thousands of them to send out, right? For every one of your projects you have, securing the actual right-of-way, working with all the different landowners. Getting those documents signed electronically is another step, another reduced step in the actual process, right? It saves you time because you no longer have to go on site. You don't have to drive to the location, have a piece of paper sign, and then scan it back in and do all that. Even if you already use a Docusign style product, now it's being signed kind of separately, and then you have to export it, download it, and then import it back into the product here. So even this is a time saver on both accounts here, okay? So 3 major changes, three investments into the actual product itself here, working with customers directly. And I forgot to mention, the Docusign signature is the second most requested change that our customers have asked for. So we work directly with them to figure out what is the most important thing to them here, and then we make those changes based upon their feedback. So their feedback is very, very important here. So with that said here, that's everything that we wanted to show here, and I just want to point out here just a few things. Go ahead and feel free to ask any questions you want in the Q&A session right here. We'll get to those questions here. Before I do that, also note that if there's a question you have that you don't want to ask here in a kind of a public forum here, feel free to email me directly and I'll get back to you with what that question is. Also, feel free to visit the Irth.com YouTube account. Our Irth.com YouTube account, we store all of our content there, including what you're seeing today here. This will be stored up there. That way you can kind of send it around your company to other peers that you're actually in your company as well. And then we also have our LinkedIn account here with Irth, where we post information all the time about the changes we're making and different things we're doing, like our user conference and so on here. So with that said, what I'll do is I'll actually turn it over to some questions here. And let me open up my Q&A section here. So we actually do have some questions in the chat here. So first question I see here, do you support any other vendors for digital signatures? So I think what this person is referring to is the fact that I'm keying off of Docusign. So right now we support Docusign, and we've developed that integration directly with them, but we can also support other products as well. So if you have other questions or other products out there that you want to support, come talk to us. We can actually build support in for those other products as well. That should not be an issue. Second question here, how often is the parcel data refreshed? So what we do in working with Rextag, we refresh the parcel data as often as we can, which right now is quarterly. So every quarter they push out a new change to the parcels and updating all the parcel information, and we are updating that data quarterly here. Okay. Next question here, does Rextag data include gas facility locations? The answer is yes, it does. So they have electric, they have gas facility, they have other facility locations, and I believe they span across the United States for sure, and I believe Canada as well. So they've got different facility locations. And if you have interest in that, feel free to reach out to me, and we can have further conversations and show you what that data looks like here, so you can see that actual that data. Another spot here of questions. Give me a second here. We've got a few locations for questions. Someone wrote the question, SaaS, please define. SaaS means software as a service. So for our product, we are a SaaS offering where we deploy through the web, and it is a software as a service here. So there's no need to install any application on your users' products here. Another question here: can the Docusign feature be swapped with any other products, or is Docusign specifically needed for adoption of this product edition? Yeah, and again, I answered that one before. I think you asked that before I answered it here. So the answer is yes, we can swap out Docusign. We just need to know exactly what you're using, and then we can get in touch with them to configure the specifics of that different product here. So if you have more questions, reach out to me directly, and we can have that conversation, get that process going here. Next question: what version of Earth Maps contain Rextag? I do not know the answer to that question. So what I'll need to do, I'm going to take a note of that, and I will get back to you with a specific about the version of Earth Maps, which one contains Rextag. So I will get back to you with that question here. This is a great group. a lot of questions coming in here. If a client has an existing Docusign contract, can those be integrated into Earth's existing project? The answer is yes. So if you have an existing contract with Docusign, you can use those same credentials to be configured inside of the EarthLand product, and that integration then will be seamless. So the answer there is yes, absolutely here. Okay. Next one here: if parcel data changes midstream, do changes reflect in the application? So that's really that's a great question. That's really the difference between phase 1 and phase 2. So with phase 1 right now is we're doing a manual update of that data. So that data is being manually updated. In phase 2, we're going to be doing a live syncing of that parcel data. So when that parcel data is updated in near real time, and we get those updates will now show inside of EarthLand. So phase 2 will be coming out by the end of this year. So that's something that we are working on here. Okay, next question here. Can Earth work with Docusign on getting the remote online notarized docs automatically added to the Earth records? The answer is absolutely. So a lot of the questions, especially with the Docusign integration, what I would encourage everyone who's asked about those, feel free to reach out to me directly, and we can start having the conversations about how we do this. Because when you think about it, what our main goal is not our main goal is really working with the largest provider. The largest provider first was Docusign, right? So that's our main goal there. And there's a ton of configuration we can do around that integration and that partnership, right? So get with me on that side. For those of you that ask specifically about other vendors, get with me also, because we can configure other vendors in the application. Main goal again being Docusign support for others to come as clients needed them. So definitely reach out to me, and we can help you get that configured for what you need here. Okay, and I think any other questions, feel free to reach out with any other questions here. I'll give it a minute just to see if any other questions kind of falling in. Okay, another one that was asked here: how is licensing integrated, and is there a cost structure? So I think when you're saying is there licensing integrated, so I don't know specifically which one you're talking about here. On the Rextag and the Parcel integration, the licensing is integrated into a single cost from us, and we can provide that cost to you. On the Docusign or the electronic document signature side here, it's a tongue twister there, sorry about that. But on the electronic document signature side, what you will do is you will need to get a license from that company, and then we can integrate into our product. So that's why if you have an existing Docusign license, there's no issue there. That's perfectly fine. If you have a license with another company as well, on the electronic document signature side, that's fine as well. You'll need to do that, and then we can integrate that in as well here. So good questions. Okay, and that question was specific to Docusign. I see. So Docusign. So yeah, on that one, what you would do, reach out to us, and we can help you drive the conversation with Docusign. But at that point, you would go get a license with Docusign, and then you'll have like a login for them, and then we'll use that login inside of our product, and that's how the integration actually works there. So good questions. Okay. Yeah, per person, notary, and so forth. I don't. On the Docusign side, I don't know if it's per person or if it costs more for notary. That's something we can work with you on. So feel free to send me an email, and I will, and we can get answers to those questions for you as well here. Okay. Any other questions? I'll keep the floor open here. This is a great group, a lot of questions that have come in, so this is fantastic here. Okay. All right, I think that's it in terms of the questions here. Again, you have my contact information on the screen. Feel free to reach out at any time. And what I would encourage the people that are asking the questions, reach out to me directly here. Let's have conversations to get that configuration going for you here, and we can answer your questions further. Also, do not forget our YouTube. Again, it's got a ton of content on YouTube about the different things that we do. This webinar will be actually included in our YouTube as well. So if you need to send that out to different people at your company, feel free to do that as well here. So, and that concludes our time during this webinar. And again, look forward to talking to everyone here, and have a great day, and we'll see you.